Just two candidates remain for the Republican presidential nomination, former President Donald Trump and former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley.
The big question for today's New Hampshire primary is whether Haley actually has a chance against the former president. Let's get right to Robert Moses. He is live outside Trump Tower in Midtown with what to expect from today's primary. Good morning, Robert.
Tashani and Dan, good morning to you. Well, polls would suggest that Nikki Haley does not have a chance today, but then again, New Hampshire has surprised before. Think about John McCain beating George W. Bush there back in 2000. Now, former President Donald Trump is not here at Trump Tower at this point, though he may be back as soon as tonight as he hopscotches between his trials and the trail.
In a time-honored tradition, as the clock struck midnight, all 6 registered voters in Dixville Notch, New Hampshire, 4 Republicans and 2 undeclared, cast ballots for Nikki Haley. It is early, of course, and former President Donald Trump is still expected to win the Granite State's primary comfortably. Right before the first votes, he rallied in Laconia.
The radical left Democrats are supporting Nikki for one simple reason, because they know that she's very easy to beat.
Some of the former president's vanquished Republican rivals joined him on stage. Entrepreneur Vivek Ramaswamy, North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum, and South Carolina Senator Tim Scott, who has been mentioned as a potential running mate. Not everyone was happy to be there. Several protesters interrupted the rally. For her part, Haley would like to interrupt former President Trump's seemingly inevitable coronation.
America doesn't do coronations. We believe in choices. We believe in democracy, and we believe in freedom. I have said I love the live free or die state, but you know what? I want to make it a live free or die country.
Haley, who had half a dozen events across New Hampshire yesterday, faces an uphill battle in the state. A disappointing performance would increase pressure on her to drop out. And she trails the former president by a wide margin in the next state to hold its primary, South Carolina, even though she served as governor there. Before flying to New Hampshire yesterday, former President Trump arrived at the courthouse in Lower Manhattan for E. Jean Carroll's defamation trial against him. But a short time later, the judge delayed the trial because a juror was sick. The former president's attorney, Alina Habba, says he could take the stand in his own defense as soon as tomorrow.
Back to New Hampshire. On the Democratic side, if you can believe this, President Joe Biden's name is actually not on the primary ballot in New Hampshire. That's because of efforts by national Democrats to deprive New Hampshire of its first-in-the-nation primary status. Now, to be sure, Democrats are still urging voters to write in the president's name, and he is expected to win easily over the nearly 24 other Democrats whose names are on that primary ballot. Tashani, back to you.
A lot at stake, Robert. Thank you.